It has happened again, the collector bug has bitten me and I want to buy and collect some retro video games. And I'm going to go after a very specific series that I've started collecting for in the past, but I never went the whole mile to get the entire series done and into the collection. And with my over 10 years of retro gaming and retro collecting video game experience, I thought I'd take you along with the journey, show you my thought process, my thinking behind acquiring those games, and just take you on the trip. If you enjoyed this style of video, it may take weeks, months for this video to come out. Today is the 12th of December 2023. We will see on what date I will finish the collection. My buying process, like many people, they just buy lots, they keep what they want, they resell stuff. I don't like to have stuff on my shelves. So I have a very curated collection and I just go for the specific titles that I want. So this may not be the collecting style for you, but it's what I enjoy doing and what I've enjoyed doing for the past 10 plus years in the scene. Cheers to you at this point, having some raw pu'er on another cold winter day. Not so cold, like 5 degrees. What I'm going for is the Wild Arms series right now. I got Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms 2 for the PlayStation 1 in my collection already, and that's all of it that I have in the series. I've played the first one, I've never played the second one. The first one is very cool. I have a big love for anime western mixes, like Boktai, my favorite series of all time. So this series was always very interesting to me, and I always wanted to check out what the series was all about. The first one is pretty cool. I need to play the second one and the entire rest of the series. Now let's go over to the computer and do some research on what games came out in what countries and what's actually part of the collection and which versions I want to collect for. Okay, let's do a little bit of research on the Wild Arms series. It is a series of Japanese role-playing games for the Sony consoles. So we are not going to buy any doubles for multiple consoles. The series is rather easy with that one. So it's only on Sony consoles and it ran from the PlayStation 1 to the PSP later on. I have the two PS1 games already, Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms 2, in the US versions. If you're going to collect, especially if you're in Europe like me, you have to find out which version you want to get your hands on. And when it comes to PS1, I usually I almost always tend to gravitate towards the US versions. Because first of all, I like the packaging a lot more than the European versions. And I just can't get over the terrible PAL conversions on the PlayStation 1 games. If you have a different language version, it's usually hard-coded into the game. So you can't play it in multiple languages like German or English over here. And with Wild Arms, it's rather special, or well, not special for PS1 era, but the second one never got a European PAL release. So the first one did, so I could get a PAL version for this, but then I would have PAL and then US version. It just doesn't quite fit over here. So I prefer to collect the US versions for PlayStation 1 games every time I can. And I already, sorry, COVID still got me and the cough is not going away. So I already got Wild Arms 1 and 2 checked off the list. So we are going to hunt for Wild Arms 3, 4, 5, Alter Code F and Wild Arms XF. Wild Arms 3, so all of these are for the PlayStation 2 except for XF, which is a spin-off for the PSP. Wild Arms 3, it's rather cheap and easy to find in Europe. So all of the games got US releases, so if you're in the US, it's rather easy to collect for. In Europe, Wild Arms 3 got a UK release, a German release, a French release, an Italian release. It was actually published by Ubisoft back then. And Ubisoft usually gave their games a rather wide release throughout Europe. So it's rather easy to find. I will see which version I want to get. That's something, if you collect for PAL systems, like, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of mixing the languages of the games all throughout the place. I usually tend to favor UK releases because the box is in English, or German releases because I'm in Germany. Now, for this one, Wild Arms 3, I'm actually interested in getting the French version because Ubisoft is a French company and because I can't get the entire series in English. We will talk about that in a minute here. So Wild Arms 3, whether cheap and easy to get, I'm not going to hunt for this right now. That's my collecting tip for you. If you go for the bigger ticket games right away, you can just check them off the list. The cheap common stuff is not going to move. You can always find them. That's why I'm going for the other games in the series first, because all of them are rather expensive and harder to find. Alter Code F is special in this series because it never got, the only game except for Wild Arms 2, it never got a European release. So I have to get a US version of this. It's actually a remake of Wild Arms 1 on the PlayStation 1. So Alter Code F, I will have to get a US release, which means the price is a lot higher than for all of the others. I'm expecting to drop 100 to 150 euros for a copy of Alter Code F. Wild Arms 4 and 5, they dropped, as far as my research goes, the Germany release for this one. So it only got released in the UK, in France, and in Italy. Unlike Wild Arms 3, it was released by 505 Games Street, later known, renamed to 505 Games, nowadays most commonly known probably now as the publisher of Control for the PlayStation 4, for example. And it's actually an Italian publisher. So I would favor to get the Italian versions of Wild Arms 4, 5, and Wild Code XF, which also was released by 505. Wild Arms 4, as I said, was released in the UK, in France, and in Italy. Wild Arms 5, however, never got a UK release, as I can find. So I have to settle with the French or Italian version. And because 505 Games is an Italian publisher, I would like to go for an Italian set of Wild Arms 4, 5, and 6. I'll see what I can do about that, if that's possible. If not, I have to mix like French and Italian versions here or there. Wild Arms 4 is quite expensive and harder to find, the most hard to find and expensive of the entire set. It will probably run you around 70 to 100 euros. Wild Arms 4 is easier to find, a bit cheaper, but usually between 50 to 100 euros. And then Wild Arms XF, for some reason, is rather hard to find and will run you probably around 50, 60, 70 euros. It's actually a spin-off, a strategy RPG spin-off. So I'm looking right now, I'm looking for XF for the PSP. There's an Italian version on eBay as a buy it now, shipped to Germany for around 60 euros. So I'm thinking of simply pulling the trigger on that one because it doesn't seem to pop up as auctions quite so often. So I may just have to pull the trigger and buy this one. Wild Arms 5, I found an auction. This is the French version. So I'm not too into it because I would rather have the Italian version. But because the title is so bad and probably many people are not going to find this as easily, I expect this to end rather cheaply. So I may actually bid on this and win this to either have it as a placeholder for the collection until I get an Italian version, or I'm simply going for a French set instead of an Italian. I will see about that. It all depends on if I can also win from the same seller, as you see with the terrible title here. Wild Arms 3, he also has this one, so if I can get this for cheap, combined shipping for both, I may actually get a deal on Wild Arms 3 and 5 over here. Wild Arms 4 and Alter Code F may be harder to find. I did a posting in a collectors group. I'll see what I can do. And yeah, so that's the plan. I will give you an update in 4 days when these auctions run out, and just, you know, let you know if I won them or not. See you then. So it's a couple of days later, and I've been playing a lot of Ridge Racer 7 lately, and we got the first hit in our Wild Arms collecting series. The auction we watched, Wild Arms 5, the French version, I actually won the auction at 35.55 and 15 euros shipping. So around 15 euros to my door, which seems to be around market rate for this, maybe a bit on the lower end, but you know, I'm happy with this. We'll see how it works out when it arrives. The pictures are kind of lacking in detail, so I will be interested to see what the actual condition is. You don't see the back of the case, for example, in this auction, so I just hope it's in good condition all around. The pictures look alright. The cough is still there, and yeah, actually, to make this 15 euros work, another tip I tried to employ that didn't work out this time. I went to the persons, to the seller's site, saw what they had to offer. For example, they were auctioning off a Magna Carta, which I was bidding on because I thought that's pretty cool. I have Magna Carta 2 for the Xbox 360, and of course with combined shipping that would basically halve the shipping for Wild Arms 5. Now I have to pay the full amount. The same seller had Wild Arms 3. Sadly, that one ended before Wild Arms 5, otherwise I would have bought and bid that up as well, because, you know, I didn't want to pay the price plus shipping and then in the end pay more than buying it locally if I didn't get the Wild Arms 5. So, you know, combining shipping, one of the big tips for buying online, and we will look out for more games in the series to buy. But we got one off the list, so I will talk to you when the package arrives. Alright, it's a few days later and we got a package from France we are about to unbox, and I've been playing a lot of PS3 lately. Everybody's Golf World Tour and Ridge Racer 7 are on my list of games to play at the moment. I don't know, having a hard time getting back into RPGs a little bit, but we're collecting them nonetheless. And I got this nifty little pot for my tea today. I've been looking for one of these for a while, and this one has the right volume for me. So you're here to watch the unboxing of what should be Wild Arms 5. Let me see if I can open this up. I, the idiot I am, forgot to bring a pair of scissors or anything, but I think we can manage without. Oh yeah, look at that. That's Wild Arms 5, if I've ever seen one. Come on, let's get it out. Let's check out the condition, because as you may remember, we didn't see the back of the box on the photographs. So let's take a look. It arrived very quickly here. So let's see. Wild Arms 5. The case condition. Oh, pretty nice. No big scratches, no big dents. Oh, we have one right here. A little bit. A dent in the case. We'll see if that's actually on the inlay or not. And the back side looks pretty good. It's the French version right here, not the Italian version. Condition seems fine. There's a bit of an indent from the disc tray, but that's to be expected. The game fell out already. Let's take a look here. There's a scratch there. Here. So quite a few scratches. I may have to clean this up a little bit and then do a rip on my PC to verify that it can be whipped and fully loaded. Oh, that's a pretty bad scratch over here. We will see how that one works out. I really hope this disc can be whipped and read. Let's put this in. Let's look at the manual. It's all in one piece, which is already a good start. And it's completely in French. But that doesn't matter, it's full color, which is pretty nice. I'm not sure if the Italian one is in full color, but quality seems fine. A few dents, a few nicks here or there. Oh, a little bit of a, I don't know, weird binding, but that's okay. That's quality I can live with. But, you know, if it's all ripped or dented up, okay, I may think twice about buying a manual like this. Anyway, let's move to the computer and rip the disk to see if it can be read. Excuse the white balance, that's just how filming screens indoor goes. So what I do to verify my PS2 discs and many other consoles, I put the game into my drive and then I use image burn to create an image from the file. So let's rename it to Wild Arms 5 and let's create an image, and I will give you an update if it got successfully ripped or if we have a dud on our hands, because I verify every game I can by either ripping it to a computer for older consoles, or for games like the PS3 for example, I rip it directly to the system because I don't have a drive that can rip PS3 games. And that's just how I verify that the game can be read and completely played. Because if the disc doesn't work, I may as well just have an empty case and a manual. I want the game to actually play. I don't just want the disc to have a complete set. So we'll give it a few minutes and I will give you an update if it worked or not. While we are waiting for the last percentages to finish, I want to go into the condition of the inlay. Always get out the inlay to see if there's any water damage. I've seen some bad things on these things hidden underneath. Success! We have a working copy of Wild Arms 5. So always rip your games to find that one out. The dent on the cover is only on the case, so I could replace that if I wanted to and have a clean copy from the front. There is a bit of a dent on the back up there, but the back is not as important to me. You can see it up there too. The back is not as important as the front cover. So what we are doing now tonight at 3 o'clock at night, I will kind of trying to stay awake until then. The Wild Arms Alter Code F for PS2 is finishing the auction I showed you last time. And because it's the middle of the night, I'm hoping to get a deal on it. So I will tell you how that went tomorrow morning when I did that 3 o'clock auction. I'm drinking tea, drinking Coke to get the caffeine in to stay awake until then. I'll put on an alarm clock as well because I'm crazy like that. See you then. So here we are. I didn't win the auction. The price went up a little bit more than I was hoping for a game with a creased manual right here. So the condition wasn't quite up to my standards. I thought I would get it for a deal because of that, but no, I'm not paying top dollar basically for a condition like this. I've been hunting around American eBay a little bit, looking for some auctions or buy it nows that I may be willing to spend the money on, but after shipping and taxes and import fees, it's always a little bit more than I'm willing to pay. So I'll hunt around for an auction. I'm sure Alter Code F will pop up in the future and I will be able to get it for a price I'm willing to pay for the condition I want. It's not good to FOMO into this stuff. Yeah, you don't have to buy a condition like this if you're not happy with it. And I know I would be unhappy with a manual like this. I would be knowing it's in there, creased like this, and I would be unhappy. I'm not willing to spend the money on that, but I want another auction for one of the little titles in the series. Wild Arms 3, not rare, not expensive. I got the German version. It was published by Ubisoft, as you can see underneath the Sony sticker here for some reason. So it's printed into the ground, basically, not hard, not expensive, not hard to find. So I got this, the seller sold it as collector's condition, and it's quite nice. It has a few small flaws here or there, but nothing that I can't live with. We got the manual, which is black and white, as usual for Europe, but exclusively in German. So we don't have multi-language manuals here, and we have the disc, which is in basically perfect condition. It's like it's never been played at all, no scratches, nothing. I already ripped it, no problems, it works without a flaw. I've been wanting to check some of these games out and finally start Wild Arms 2. But I cannot find the video cables from PlayStation 2 right now. I know before moving, I packed it somewhere, not alongside the other cables, because I definitely wanted to find it right away, because I wanted to play my PS2. But of course, as always, when you put something somewhere where you will definitely find it as soon as you need it, you never find it again. So we have the games in my collection now. I need to find that cable and then we can check out some of the games in the future. We are still hunting around for Wild Arms XF, Alter Code F, and 4. All of which probably the hardest to find in the series. I wanted to show you how I protect my games. I put them into a little plastic sleeve like this, and then they can go on the shelf for a little bit of extra protection so that nothing, you know, pierces the plastic or they don't scratch up when they rub against each other when they're on the shelf. I like to do this. I got this idea basically when I was watching a lot of trading card collecting channels, and I was looking around for similar options for like a card sleeve and a card box, and I found this solution a few years ago and I quite like how it looks and feels on the shelf. It just gives it a little bit of extra, I don't know, quality value in the hand. I quite like it and I feel more protected putting my at least older games in these. But I'm running out of DVD protectors and actually Switch ones as well. So I may have to order some more in the future. Hopefully I can get back to you with better news for Alter Code F, Wild Arms 4 and XF in the near future. So see you then. Since the last part of the video I started playing Wild Arms 2 and I'm loving it. I'm liking it a lot more than Wild Arms 1 right now, so I'm excited to see where this game goes and the following games afterwards. I've discovered since that the PAL releases of Wild Arms 3 and 5 actually support 60 Hz mode. So I don't even need to boot the US versions to play in the proper speed, which is quite dandy as a PAL collector. And for my buying week, basically, I've had two big updates. I found for 35 euros plus shipping a French version of Wild Arms XF for the PSP. Someone put it up as a buy it now for 40. I made an offer and I got it for 35. And I think that's a pretty good deal. Getting it for a little bit over 40, which is, you know, a little bit than it retailed for at launch. And I won an auction for Wild Arms Alter Code F in the USA, so it needs to be shipped over here. Man, I hate shopping in the US. You know, the whole added tax thing in the end, it's just always such a bummer when you want to actually check out with the item that you have bought. But I think I got a pretty decent deal on it. All in, shipped to my door, unless I get some surprising import fees. It's around 122 euros, I think, that I'm paying for everything. So that's still a pretty decent deal considering the over 150 the guy on the Italian auction paid for last time we checked out an auction for this. So I'll get to you when these two games arrive, or when Wild Arms 4 pops up on eBay. That's the last one missing right now. Because I have the French version of Wild Arms 5 and XF now, I'm tending towards the French version of Wild Arms 4 as well. I would also be happy with the UK English version and you know, the Italian version, because it doesn't fit in with anything in my collection now. It's kind of at the bottom of the ranks here. So French, UK, Italian, but I'm happy with any of the three. So let's see how it actually works out in the end. Quick update, we have officially bought every Wild Arms game now. I've been thinking about which Wild Arms 4 to get. They're rather rare and hard to find and they don't pop up very often. I checked the histories. So here in Germany there was a seller selling the Italian version for something like 92 euros. What's a really good tip for eBay is you can put things onto your watch list and then the seller can send to people who are watching the article price offers. And he sent me a price offer of 85 euros. I sent him back a price offer of 75 and we met in the middle. at 80. Recently an Italian copy sold for 80, so it's basically the going rate for it, and plus shipping, but eBay gave me a coupon where I saved, I think, 7% on this. So in the end, including shipping and everything, I'm paying a little bit under 80 euros for this one. So definitely the second most expensive one in the series for me to get after AutoCode F, but I'm sure it will be a great game to play. Since this is shipped from within Germany, I'm sure this will arrive first. So the next step will probably be unbox Wild Arms 4 and looking at the condition of the game I bought. It is January 19th, 2024, and for some reason all my packages decided to arrive on one day. So we got 4 packages to go through. We have 2 different Wild Arms games in here, and I don't know which package they are in. Actually, I have kind of an idea, because one of them is an Amazon package, that's definitely not it, and one of them came from France, so that's definitely the Wild Arms XF. But I decided for this video, let's do a little 4-box unboxing, and 2 of them will be Wild Arms related. So I hope you're enjoying this. Let's knock over the camera and start with one I definitely know is not Wild Arms related, and that's the Amazon package. By the way, if you see weird distortions, I'm using the wide angle lens on my phone camera here. So let me open this up without showing you my address. And this is a game I'm super excited for. A remake of one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Another Code. And it even comes with the sequel, originally from the Wii, also remade for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm excited to play this again, Another Code, or Trace Memory as it was called in the US. One of my favorite games, and it's kind of Wild Arms related, because I will be pausing Wild Arms 2, which I'm like 17 hours in now to play this. So, sorry Wild Arms 2, but I have my priorities straight. Another Code is just more important to me. It's a beautiful cover, by the way. Ignore the USK stamp here. Always the problem. But I like the cover. It's beautiful, and it's getting a physical release here. I'm super excited. So, let's get one of the ones that I know, or at least I guess, is Wild Arms XF. Since I, as always, don't have a knife handy, we have the pair of scissors that's hopefully sharp enough to cut through all the tape. Let's open this up, cutting through. Yeah, I think we have it all open now. So let's open up a PSP game, I guess. Possibly. Let's check. Here we have it. Fully boxed. Yeah, that looks like a PSP game. Wild Arms XF for the PSP. This is the French version, as you can see, French manual game in English. Let's check out the condition here. Looks very, very clean. I got this from an eBay seller who's selling historical Battlefield helmets and everything. They had one game on there and it was Wild Arms XF. So I bought it, I sent a buy it now, and I got a good deal on it. Let's see, the manual has a little bit of a problem up here. It's barely noticeable, so I won't be complaining too much. A bit down here too. Normal wear and tear from having it in the box, as long as it's not super teared up or wrinkled all the way through with water damage or something. I don't have a big problem with it. So here we have a nice colorful manual and the game itself. So let's see, it's a UMD, it's in a case, it shouldn't be scratched to hell and back, but no, it seems to be in pretty nice condition. So I'm happy with the price I paid for this copy. So I'm excited to add this one to the collection. And because I just released a video about me bagging my entire Nintendo Switch collection, people were very mad about it for some reason. So in the comments they told me, oh, You know why I'm putting it into plastic bags like that? OCD as hell. Just for that, we will be putting all the games into plastic bags in this episode. Not the another code, because I plan on opening and playing that later. Actually, I could leave it open, like, oh, I'm putting my sealed Nintendo Switch game into a plastic bag. Am I investing into modern video games? Yeah, definitely. If I wanted to invest into video games and making mad stonks, you know, I would not be buying stupid Switch games. I would be investing into something more lucrative into the future. So, we have Wild Arms XF. I will be backing up the game later, checking if everything works. So I will update you later on. But this is in the bag now, literally. So we have two different packages. One of them is, well, both of them are PlayStation 2 games. Let's start with this one in the nice box and see if it's Wild Arms 4, the one I ordered. Yes, Wild Arms Alter Code F is still not here. It's shipping from the US. Actually, I have to turn this around to cut it open, and I don't want you to see my address. Can I take it off before we do that? Yes. I think so. I took off the sticker. Let's stick it to somewhere so it's not stuck to my hands. A bit more, and then I'm comfortable showing it on camera. All right. Here we go. Let's open the box. Cutting the side. Let's do a bit of gambling. Like, let's turn into a Pokemon card channel or something. Like, what do you think inside? Is it Wild Arms 4 or is it not? Tell me in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe right now so I can send you a prize when you don't win or something. Like, how do you scam people on a giveaway? I have to learn that. I think that's like YouTube 101 nowadays. How to scam people with fake giveaways. All right. Box is open, but it's not opening. Here it is. Yes. It is Wild Arms 4. Wow. No, it's not sealed. I had to do a double take here. But they already did my job for me and put it into a plastic bag. Wow. The plastic bag is torn or something. Yeah, it's torn. Why is the plastic bag torn? Like, do you not take care of your plastic bags? All right, let's take out the game. Here we go. Wild Arms 4. Let's look at the front first. The Italian version, because I got a better deal on it than the French version. I saved 20 euros in comparison to importing it. Oh, the case is a little nick there. Not a big deal. I was always interested, like for Italy, it's like these okay, legally imported stickers or something that they're like legally distributed in Italy, and they all have this watermark on it. My Boktai 2 has that too. I had to import that from Italy as well. So here we go. Condition is great. You can see the imprint of the disc there. That's something that's just not avoidable when you collect disc-based DVD cases. Let's take a look at the manual. Wild Arms 4 here. Black and white or color? Color. It's 505 games. Of course, Ubisoft cheaped out with Wild Arms 3 when they released it here. So here it is. It's all in Italian. Hell yeah. I don't speak Italian, so I'm luckily able to play the game nonetheless because it has English text in the game, but I cannot read the manual. So I have to learn it all by doing in the game, but it seems to be in good condition. Nothing to complain about. Normal wear and tear for a used game. You can't really avoid that. So let's put it back into the case. PlayStation 2 game. Now we have to check for scratches here. It does look clean as hell. It looks like this game was never played before. There's not a single scratch on here. Has this been taken out of its case before? I'm not sure, but you can say hi to me. This is fantastic condition. I'm sure like sealed copies of this, the Italian version, are still, you know, not readily available, but I'm sure they're not too hard to find on eBay compared to the French or English versions. So this is the cheapest of the bunch. So if you want to make mad stonks, get the UK version in Europe. But I just wanted a version, and I would have preferred the French version because all the other games are the French version, Wild Arms 5 and XF. But the Italian version is just nice to have. So since the original plastic bag it came in was destroyed and had a tear in it, let's get a new one. I will check the inlay and stuff later on. Actually, let's do that now. Let's check the inlay, just in case there's some weird rot going on or something. But no, it seems fine. Yeah, let's look in there. Like there's no mold or something going on underneath the case. Now we have to get it back in on camera. Sorry for wasting your time, but I'm sure you were so eager to see if there was mold growing underneath it. Like, always check that stuff with your collection. If it looks a bit weird, if it is water damaged or something, sometimes it's hard or impossible to see from the outside. You have to look at the white inlay in there. So I forgot to check, like, does it come in one of the old school cases? Yes, with the memory card holder. Let's bag it in. Bag it in, baby. Here we go. Nice. People were complaining about me being a shelf collector because I don't play the games, they're all in plastic bags. Like, I only buy games I intend on playing, or at least have an interest in playing. I'm not sure if I will ever play Wild Arms 4, but it's definitely on the list I want to play. That's why I'm not collecting sealed. I collect complete in box games, and I want them to be in the highest possible condition. Because me as a collector, like, people say, oh, who cares about the condition, you want to play the games. No, me as a collector, because I like to, you know, my collection should have like the maximum value, otherwise you waste money. And I, as a collector, I know I don't want a cracked case, I don't want a ripped inlay, I don't want a wrinkled manual, I don't want super scratched discs. So I care about my condition. And I know that if the time ever comes to sell that stuff, and let's be honest, there is a time where we will sell our collections in the future, where we just lose interest, we need the money for better things. And I want there to be, when I put it on the market, I don't want people to say, oh, I really don't want to buy that. It has a crinkled manual and a scratched disc. Like, I want them to see, oh, that's a nice condition copy. I will happily pay the price he's asking. I'm just thinking about the future of like selling these games. I have to be honest with you, I don't intend on being buried with my collection in the future. Like, I will liquidate this stuff for my family, kids, nieces, whoever, like, before I die. Let's be honest here. Like, think about the future a little bit. Buy the highest quality stuff you can in the category you operate in. I could have gotten this game sealed for like another 50 or something, so not too much more, but honestly, I don't care about sealed games. So I just collect the highest condition in the market I'm in, which is completed in box games. Little side note there, like, I don't know, a lot of people, I don't want to say triggered me on there, but like they just don't understand my way of thinking behind this. So there's one more package, which is another PlayStation 2 game to check out. I got this one. I sniped this for like 11 euros, which I think is a good deal because I've been wanting it for a while. Another RPG, action RPG for the PlayStation 2, Dark Chronicle, the German version. Like, I don't care about like which version to get. I just want it to be good quality and cases in good condition, German game. For some reason, the authenticity sticker here is torn off, but that's something you can easily fix. Let's look at the manual. Let me guess, it's a German game, so it's black and white. Oh, it's in color, wow. Let's take a look. I was never the biggest fan of Dark Cloud 1. And even though it's like technically my game, okay, you build a city, you go through dungeons, it's a dungeon crawler. I never cared for it too much. I've heard people say the second one is a lot better. So maybe not the fan favorite, but if I didn't like the first one, I should definitely check out part 2. Dark Chronicle 2 in the US, and in Europe it's called Dark Chronicle. So I will definitely check this out in the future. I love... Oh, there's a big scratch there. Let's see if that one rips. I have a bad feeling about this one. I have a bad feeling about this one. Like, do you see that scratch, man? Let's hope for the best. It's not very deep from the looks of it, so maybe it can pull through and rip successfully. But man, this is not looking good. So, Dark Chronicle. Here we go. I will now rip all of these PS2 games, which is why I shouldn't have put them into plastic bags. And of course the PSP game. And I will give you an update here very quickly in the next part for you, in like an hour for me after ripping all of these games, on if everything worked. And then we are only waiting for Wild Arms Alter Code F to arrive, which should be in around a month now. It just shipped from the US, so it may take a while. Can you believe it? It's the final part of this little video. Well, it's all one video, but it's the final part because we got a package from eBay International, and that can only mean one thing. We got one swell little video game, which is Wild Arms Alter Code F from the country of the free, the US of A. So let's get it out of the packaging. There are lots of packing peanuts inside and an Amazon envelope inside. The rest is just packing peanuts, so let's put that away. Americans and their packing peanuts. I never understood that really. Like, we don't really use them in Europe. It's more like an American thing. Let's unwrap this. And here we go. Yes, that looks like a game. I'm interested in having Wild Arms Alter Code F. Let's take a look. Case seems to be in pretty good shape. Back of the box, we see a few dents here. That's all right. Let's take a look inside. The manual, this one has not been released in the US by Exceed. Actually, H-Tag, which doesn't exist anymore, I think, took on the localization of that one. So that's why apparently the localization really isn't the best in this one. I've heard this game, Alter Code F, was a big flop. Like, it only sold around 100,000 copies worldwide, including the Japanese release. So even though like 100,000 is still a ton of copies, but that's why it's on the more expensive sides compared to others. DVD-ROMs are easily damaged by dust and scratches. Please handle discs with care. I will. The manual, pretty good shape, pretty stable, like robust paper stock right here. And we have the game disc, which is, and I double checked this, one of the dual layer discs on the PlayStation 2. And we have a few small scratches, nothing that should prevent the game from loading. Oh, there's a big one there. But I think that's fine. I think that's all right. We can work with that. So ripping this game will be a bit of a challenge because ripping dual layer PS2 games isn't the easiest thing. Well, it's easy, but it can fail quickly. So it will probably need multiple attempts. And here's the movie DVD. Probably unused. I can't imagine someone putting this in and out of their game console all the time. But we got the full set here, probably some registration card missing or something. So yeah, pretty limited release, 100,000 copies worldwide according to my research, and a dual layer disc at that. So a lot of PlayStation 2s actually can't play this, or they have problems booting the dual layer disc. So we have this now. I will now rip this disc, and if this one rips, because all the other games luckily ripped just fine, so they're completely playable. If this works out, then I have a complete Wild Arms collection according to my research and what I've found out. So I'm going to the laptop right now and I will give you an update. You can see it in my smile. The ripping was complete. Hell yeah! So that means I now have a, in my terms, complete Wild Arms collection. Wild Arms 1 and 2. Now the rest of the, what is it, quintilogy or something? 3, 4 and 5. On the European PlayStation 2 we have the spin-off / 6th part on the PSP. And now we have Alter Code F, the, well, kind of mixed remake, from what I've heard, of the original first game. Man, what a journey. It's so fun to just collect some games again, you know, researching a series. I'm still playing another code, so I've still stopped Wild Arms 2, but I can't wait to sit down and go through the series. Did you enjoy the journey? Do you have any questions or anything? I hope I could share some interesting tips for you and just giving you some nice unboxing porn here, right in the middle of it. Are you interested in watching me do this with other games? I'm currently hunting for the Grandeur games, Grandeur 3 and Extreme, to finish that collection too. And I have a few other ones that I'm looking into collecting the whole series for. And I thought this would be a nice little concept for a like mini-series, 1 episode kind of thing, filmed over the long term. Today is the 30th of January, so it took me around 1.5 months to collect all of these. That's a lot of money to spend on video games in 1 month, I believe. So I'm taking it slow, taking it easy for the next month or two, replenishing the budget for video game collecting. And yeah, if you're interested in seeing more, leave me a comment, give this video a like, and I'll just see you for the next big hunt. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.